Thank you, Ekta. Nice introduction. It's apt after having two sessions by two entrepreneurs. Thank you all. So, having heard about the challenges of compliances, everybody will think that every year I have to conduct AGM, have accounts audited, and file the accounts with IT department and Companies Act. These are the major requirements which one would remember, but forget about the main crux of the requirements of the law. So I'll just take you through a couple of major things which entrepreneur has to focus on. Today would cover on why compliances, how to identify applicable laws, and how to prioritize them with some examples. I believe, examples will surely hit our mind and it gets into our subconscious mind because, many of us do not have enough time to understand and discuss on these things. Just to start with a simple example, many of you would be going to gym or aerobics in the morning. Do you know public performance license has to be taken by those gym and aerobics entities for the music which they run in the classes? So this is one just example. Second, many of us use telephone. Use telephone. We'll have cordless. We will have personal computers, printers, and cartridges, which we use on regular day-to-day life and business life too. How do you dispose? Obviously, I hear that we dispose in electronics shops if they have some value or dump in dustbins. Do you know that there is a responsibility on all of us to channelize the e-waste? There is a methodology for collecting e-waste and disposing it. Either you have to sell it to a dealer of authorized producer or reseller. But none of us are aware of these, day-to-day regulations. Now, while talking about petty regulations, one more important thing which will pop up in our mind is how do I know what laws are applicable to specific industry or entity? So to me or any other legal professional, it is very difficult to answer this quickly in 2 lines because of the complexity of laws in India. There are many laws. There are central laws, state laws, municipality laws. So major challenges are no uniformity across the states. Petty example is profession tax. Profession tax is some exempted in Delhi, Goa, Punjab, and some states, but majorly applicable in other states. So if one person is, if somebody has an operation unit in Andhra Pradesh, he would know that PT is applicable. But whereas if he has a branch in Delhi, he does not know that is exempted. And payroll is run in single state itself, whereas it has to be run in different states. And second challenge is government has not prescribed a specific list of laws which are applicable to any entity. So I feel these are the two major challenges for which, one entrepreneur will not end up knowing what laws are applicable for his organization. So how does it happen? How do I identify? This is done through research and, identification of laws. So for the benefit of audience, what I wanted to do is I have categorized the applicable laws under 5 heads. So entity level. So first one is entity level. So identification of laws will happen at entity level, whether it be a sole proprietary concern, partnership, or a private limited company or section 8 company, trust society, whatever it is. So based on the entity, the registration is mandatory. If it is a private limited company, go with Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Partnership firm, go with the Register of Firms. Society, go with the Register of Societies, in that manner. So second level is the employee level. So some registrations and licenses are required. Example, labor license. The other name of it is shops and establishment, standing orders, profession tax, provident fund, which you all are aware of. So registration is mandatory. Some would not require compliances like minimum wages. So employee registration. I'm so sorry. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, continue quickly, just we can just sort of give bits of it and wrap up, please.
Fine. So next is the, prioritizing. I'll go with the prioritization, which is important for entrepreneurs. So you can categorize under 3 heads: high risk, medium risk, and low risk. High risk is something where, management will be put under bars if there is if something goes wrong, or huge penalty will be there. Example, food license for FMCG market. Medium risk is the second priority which one has to give, meaning, immediately they will not be put under bars. But repeated actions will keep a huge penalty, or management will be under bars, behind bars. Example is PF TDS deducted but not deposited with the government. Low risk, obviously there is no punishment, imprisonment, but the non-compliances can be set right through penalties and fines. So, I mean, this is very short, but anyways, I think I have given very high level information about this.